India, the world's seventh largest country by land area and the second most populous country, gained independence from British colonial rule in 1947. Since then, India has come a long way in terms of economic growth and development. India's economy was primarily agrarian at the time of independence, with the majority of population engaged in farming. However, the government implemented a series of policies aimed at industrialization and the country's economy began to diversify. In the first few decades after independence, India's economic growth was relatively slow, with an average annual growth rate of 3.5%. However, this began to change in the 1980s when India implemented economic reforms that opened up the economy of foreign investment and liberalized trade policies. The liberalization of Indian economy in the 1990s was a turning point for the country's economic growth. India's GDP growth rate began to accelerate and the country emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. According to the World Bank, India's GDP grew at an average annual rate of 6.8% between 1991 and 2019, making it one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. One of the key drivers of India's economic growth has been the services sector, which now accounts for over 50% of the country's GDP. The services sector includes a wide range of industries such as IT and software services, telecommunications, banking, and tourism. According to the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, the services sector grew at an average annual rate of 7.7% between 2014 and 2019. Another significant contributor to India's economic growth has been its manufacturing sector, which accounts for around 16% of the country's GDP. India has become a global hub for manufacturing, with several multinational companies setting up manufacturing facilities in the country. According to the Confederation of Indian Industry, India's manufacturing sector grew at an average annual rate of 5.5% between 2014 and 2019. India's agricultural sector, which employs a significant portion of the country's population, has also contributed to the country's economic growth. However, the sector's growth has been relatively slow in recent years, with an average annual growth rate of just 2.9% between 2014 and 2019. India's economic growth has also been accompanied by a reduction in poverty levels. According to the World Bank, the percentage of the population living below the poverty line has decreased from 45% in 1993 to 23% in 2012. The government has implemented several initiatives aimed at reducing poverty levels, including the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act (MNREGA), which guarantees 100 days of wage employment per year to rural households. India has made significant progress in terms of economic growth and development since gaining independence in 1947. The country's GDP has grown at an average annual rate of 6.8% over the past 3 decades, and its economy has become more diversified.